Welcome back, I'm Kim Bailey and this is Inside Exec. As some of you know, I have been away for a couple of weeks in Singapore competing in a floral art competition. That time away also gave me an opportunity to look at what was happening around me in terms of training and executive recruitment and executive performance. And one of the things that struck me most of all in this different environment was the rise of the elocution expert. And so today, as a seasoned public speaking trainer, I want to talk to you about why that might be, about why our verbal communication is so important in this digital age. Let me paint a picture for you that I guarantee every single one of you has experienced this past week. You're on a crucial video call. Your team is distributed across multiple time zones. The strategy that you're unpacking is brilliant, but right in the middle of your most critical point, someone chimes in with, "Sorry, you cut out there, could you repeat that?" In that micro moment, your momentum drops. And here is the great paradox of our modern era. We have the most advanced technology in human history sitting on our desks, yet as leaders, we're struggling more than ever to be clearly understood. As a public speaking coach, I've had a front row seat to a fascinating new trend. Lately, I'm seeing a massive resurgence, as I said, in enunciation experts, speech coaches who are suddenly marketing their services directly to the C-suite. Elocution is back in demand. But why? Because verbal precision is no longer reserved for the grand keynote stage. In a hybrid world where increasingly we use Zoom or Meet or meetings, the algorithms compress your audio, and where you no longer have the physical gravity of a boardroom to carry your message, your voice is doing 80% of the heavy lifting. Today, I'm going to talk about the new elocution. We'll explore why the digital muddle is quietly eroding executive authority and how to sharpen your verbal clarity without losing your authentic voice. So what is driving this sudden need for enunciation experts? Why are highly successful, articulate leaders suddenly sounding, well, muddled? It comes down to three things: technology, physicality, and globalised teams. First, let's talk about the technology. We're all dealing with digital compression and what I call the Zoom washout. Voice over IP platforms like Teams and Zoom are marvels, but they are designed to prioritise bandwidth, not acoustic fidelity. They compress audio frequencies. If you naturally swallow your consonants, or if you drop the energy at the end of your sentences, the software's algorithm often assumes that sound is background noise and it clips it entirely. Your profound insight literally gets deleted by the algorithm before it reaches your team's ears. Secondly, we've lost the physical compensations of the boardroom. Just think about it. When you're sitting at the head of a table, if you mumble a little bit, your physical presence, your hand gestures, your eye contact, they all fill in the gaps. Your body language carries the meaning. On a screen, you're a talking head. Your voice is forced to carry 80% of your executive presence. If the voice is sloppy, the perception of your leadership becomes sloppy. Thirdly, we have the global ear. Executive teams are more distributed than ever. If you are speaking with heavy regional colloquialisms, speaking at a rapid-fire pace, or failing to articulate your words, you are creating a massive cognitive load for international colleagues who are trying to translate and interpret on the fly. As a seasoned coach, when I see this rush towards enunciation training, a red flag immediately goes up. There's a trap here, and it's the trap of over-polishing. When executives hear they need to enunciate better, they often panic. They think they need to sound like a 1950s news anchor, or that they need to strip away their regional accent. Please hear me when I say this. Do not do that. Stripping away your unique cadence destroys your authenticity. We have to separate elocution from enunciation. Elocution is about sounding proper, according to an arbitrary set of societal rules. Enunciation is simply about being distinctly understood. My goal, and the goal of any good coach, is never to change the identity of the messenger. The goal is simply to remove the friction from the message. You should still sound exactly like you, just the crispest, most accessible version of you. Let's look at the leadership mandate here, because the stakes are high. Authority is inextricably tied to clarity. Every time you have to repeat yourself on a digital call, or every time your team has to quietly guess at your meaning, micro-erosions of your authority occur. It signals a lack of precision. One of the biggest culprits here is pacing. Many driven, high-performing executives are notoriously fast talkers. In a digital setting, speed kills comprehension. Slowing down is a tool of power. When you utilise the strategic pause, when you take a breath and actually finish pronouncing one word before you launch into the next, you aren't just making yourself understood, you are actively signalling confidence, control, and composure. So how do we fix this without spending thousands of dollars on an elocution coach? Before we wrap up, I want to give you 2 practical, immediate tools that you can use on your very next call. The first is the end-con rule. For the next 24 hours, I challenge you to focus entirely on hitting your ending consonants. We tend to emphasise the start of a word and let the end trail off. Instead of saying project, moving on, make sure that we hear the T in project. Make sure we hear the K in think. Just striking those final letters will instantly sharpen your digital audio. I'll have to practice myself. The second tool is posture. Enunciation starts with breath. If you are slouching in an ergonomic desk chair, you are collapsing your diaphragm. You cannot project clarity without air in your lungs. Before you unmute, sit up, bring your chest open, plant your feet flat on the floor, and drive your voice forward toward the camera lens, not down into your keyboard. Just remember that your strategic insights are only as valuable as they are understood. Don't let a bad audio habit dull your leadership edge. I'm Kim Bailey, and this is Inside Exec.